Closed captioning for the Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today you'll meet the Boo Squad as they prepare for their Thanksgiving food drive. And I bake up pumpkin quick bread. It is so moist and so easy. But first, the planetarium is back and it is better than ever. Well, we are at the Ward Beecher Planetarium, and it's been a while since anybody's been here. And Kurt Spivey is the engineer here for the planetarium, and your enthusiasm for the upgrades and the opening and the reopening is infectious.
Yes, well...
you absolutely love your job, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Well, the short description of my job is I get to run my mouth and play with cool toys, so...
Yeah, and you have shown all the talents. Wait until you see the upgrades that have happened since the fire. It's been about over a year.
January of 2023 is
Right.
when the fire happened, the very first day of classes.
But you were saying that actually that fire was almost a blessing, because you were able to fix so many things and upgrade them.
Yes, basically, it was a silver lining. This room was taken down to the studs, literally, and beyond, because they had to replace the outer ceiling too. But the things I'm really excited about for this room are the things you can't see. The electrical has been upgraded. Behind the dome now we have R30 spray foam insulation. Outside, in 1967, under the copper, they assumed that waterproofing was tar paper with nails through it.
Right? I mean,
So
think about
now,
that.
yes, now we have 2 layers of waterproofing out there. They rubberized all the gutters running off. They opened up all the drains that were backing up on the roof. So things like that that the people don't get to see. Oh, you will get to see the bright copper dome, especially if you come on a sunny day, though. That's something the people over at Jones Hall aren't too happy with us, because in the morning it hits them right in the window over there. But also our speakers got trashed in the fire as well. So we have 5 new Martin speakers up top,
man.
and a powered subwoofer. So we have some serious theater quality sound in here.
And all these tweaks, I just don't understand. But of course, the star of the show is Kronos.
Kronos is our
He's
signature
the
piece.
man,
yes.
right?
That is an entirely separate system from our video system, but we actually like that because we can do live Star Talks, and if something happened to the video system, we could just do a Star Talk. If something happened to Kronos, we could do a Star Talk after a fashion with the video system too. So we like having the 2 independent systems, but the reason Kronos is there, it's what we call an optomechanical starball, because it has lights inside that project through lenses, so you can get bright stars that are accurate size. When you make stars brighter in video, you add pixels, and then the stars start getting big and round, and they don't look realistic. So we can give a much more realistic star field with this and make it look exactly like it would outside at night.
When people visit, what do you really think they're gonna be excited about? Because I know you are so excited about everything.
I have been, not being able to do Star Talks is like somebody cut off my leg and I've been limping around for a year and a half. Star Talks are like breathing to me. So I cannot wait to share this room with the public again and get people excited about science and astronomy and have a little fun too.
Dr. Durrell is the director of the planetarium, and are you thrilled with the
outcome?
outcome?
I'm completely thrilled with everything. I mean, it's been 21 long months now, and while we were still able to teach classes for a while after the fire, it's still not the same when you don't have all the equipment and everything. I mean, one of the things that's been very important is that when construction started earlier this year, the goal for everybody involved was we wanted to be ready to have the planetarium open for our YSU students at the beginning of the fall semester, which was the last week in August. And they did that. Okay, a lot of coordination, a lot of discussions between contractors, electricians, planetarium experts, the people here at YSU to get this to happen. And sure enough, day one of the semester, 9 a.m., my first group was in here, and we've been continuing ever since.
I hear that this is classroom 2001.
It is room 2001. Yep. The previous director, Warren Yudd, made sure when the things got renumbered that this room had to be 2001 because that's just how we operate here at the Ward Beecher Planetarium.
You know, I think since the eclipse,
Yeah.
there's been so much more, and then the Northern Lights.
The big Northern Lights that we had,
that
yes.
was amazing. And then they keep, and I just think people are looking now for more things in our area that they didn't realize before.
And that's sort of the idea. That's the sort of the idea behind the classes, the general public shows as well. Is, you know, the idea is we don't want this to be the final thing you see in astronomy. We, like I said, when we show the night sky with the Chronos, the main goal is we want you to go out some night without the cell phone, and go out and see the stars and constellations yourself, and to make it your own experience.
Yeah. And just get away from the light pollution.
Yes, so we hope this is not the last time people see of the night sky. We want to encourage them to get out. I mean, we have programs here to help people with telescopes. So if people are interested in telescopes, we can sort of give advice there because, you know, if people want to get a telescope to further their interest in astronomy, we want to make sure they get something that's, you know, going to be useful and not, you know, just a thing to hang clothes on in the basement. We're into the realism. We want to show people up on with the full dome, the cool graphics and what we're learning about the universe every week, basically. But we also want people to say, oh wow, if I can go to a dark place, the sky looks like this.
Right.
And I hear from students who, after they took our classes, said, you know, they went over the summer, they immediately went camping, someplace where there aren't many lights, and they just come back and say, yeah, you were right, that was really amazing. That's what we like to hear. Right. And that's, you know, one of the things you hear when you go, okay, that worked. And that's one of the things we shoot for.
Ward Beecher made sure that this was always open to the public, free of charge.
When Ward Beecher gave the money to build this science hall and planetarium, he wanted to make sure it was a resource for the Mahoning Valley, so we always have been and always will be free and open to the public. However, donations are greatly appreciated.
Greatly appreciated.
Yes.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
This is GABA Camp, an all-inclusive resort campground for our friends with disabilities. We're not done. Let's help our friends with disabilities. We need additional cabins and a lodge. Donate now, gabacamp.com. Giving is living.
Locally sourced is good, whether it's ingredients or a bank, and that's why my bank is Farmers National Bank. Since 1887, Farmers has remained rock solid through every economic condition. Having a bank with a history of safety, soundness, and conservative management is a must. It all boils down to this. You need a bank that will help you reach your goals. I do too, and Farmers is mine. Farmers National Bank, rock solid.
Rulli Brothers is way ahead of the competition. Check out Rulli Spice World, where you can buy bulk herbs and spices, plus candies, nuts, and fillings for pennies on the dollar. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Hi, I'm Robbie Fellman.
And I'm John Stanko from Boardman Subaru.
Subaru is the best-selling all-wheel drive brand in America for the last 10 years.
And rated #1 in safety for 4 years in a row.
Come and see the legendary Subaru Forester, all new and fully redesigned for 2025.
Or check out the 7-passenger Subaru Ascent, a top-ranked 3-row SUV according to Motor Trend.
Award-winning vehicles and award-winning service.
Only at Boardman Subaru, just south of Route 224 on South Avenue.
Locally owned, Hurricane Health and Wellness will help you weather the storm of your weight loss struggles. Safe and discreet, our experienced telemed team will prescribe the proper weight loss medication. Powerful weight loss solutions. Hurricane Health and Wellness.
Shop C-Max Northside Appliance in Struthers, the local appliance store that beats big box prices every day.
Regeneration serving Youngstown, Ohio, soon to be our fourth.
You better come on in my kitchen.
Well, at this time of year, we are overwhelmed with pumpkin. It's pumpkin ice cream, it is pumpkin beer, it is pumpkin lattes. Everything is flavored pumpkin. Well, I am going to pile on. This is my pumpkin quick bread. It is so moist, so delicious, and so easy to make. It makes 2 loaves. One for you, one to share, one to keep in the fridge while the family enjoys the other one. And I think once you try this once, you are gonna make this a few times. It's good for breakfast with coffee. It's good for like a dessert, but not super sweet. I think you are really going to enjoy this. So let's get cooking. We are going to make pumpkin quick bread. For this recipe, you'll need 3 cups of unbleached all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves, and 1/2 teaspoon of ground ginger. You'll also need 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 4 eggs at room temperature, 4 tablespoons of melted butter, 1/4 cup canola oil, 1 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk, 2 cups of pumpkin puree, 3/4 cup of granulated sugar, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. All right, so I've preheated the oven to 350 degrees. I have already greased and floured my 8x4 loaf pans, so set those aside. And now what we're going to do is just quickly whisk together the dry ingredients. We have got the baking soda, the salt, the baking powder, and I gotta tell you, a few weeks ago, Ken's Aunt Marcia gave us all these really nice, super ripe bananas. I made banana muffins. I forgot to add the baking powder and the baking soda, and they were flat as a pancake. So don't forget the baking powder and the baking soda. All right, and then the nutmeg, and last but not least, the cloves. So I'm just gonna whisk these together and make sure they're evenly distributed. And that'll be it for this. What I'm gonna do is you wanna make sure we do not overmix, overbeat this, because we want the bread to be nice and fluffy. So this is unseasoned pumpkin puree. We are going to add the 4 eggs at room temperature. Also, the condensed milk, and then the melted butter, which I just melted. It wasn't when I presented this. Vanilla, oil, and last but not least, the sugar. Now, you might be thinking, why did you put it in such a small bowl? And I'm going to see how this works out. But I'm only gonna use the whisk attachment, so it's not gonna go crazy town when we do this, all right? I'm gonna go really low. So use a little bit of a bigger bowl. Now, the only difference that you're gonna see with this recipe is usually you are adding it to the dry into the wet, but we're gonna do the opposite. We are gonna add this into the dry mixture. So I'll add a little bit, about half of it. And again, I am just gonna whisk this a little bit, because I just want it to come together. I don't want to have a real problem with a tough loaf. And that's all you get if you overmix. All right, see, that's coming together nicely. So now I'm just gonna keep adding the rest. Look at that, two-handed. I gotta scrape some of that out. Don't wanna leave any goodness behind. So now we are going to divide the batter evenly between the 2 loaf pans. And then we are going to put them in the oven. Now let me make sure I'm eyeballing this. Well, they look pretty even. So now what I'm gonna do is put them in the oven. It has preheated. Make sure you put them in the upper third rack. Make sure you move that, and then we'll put these in for 50 minutes. Well, another successful loaf of bread. This is the pumpkin quick bread. I waited about 15 minutes and I'm letting them cool further on the rack, but boy, they came out beautifully. I didn't have any missing chunks, and just look how beautiful and moist this is. It is delicious. You could eat this warm, and it's excellent cold. And you're gonna love this. Dessert, not too sweet, and it's even good for breakfast, coffee. It's just a really versatile recipe. And you saw how easy it is, and I'm not even that good of a baker. So try it yourself. You're gonna really like it. Pumpkin quick bread. Go to my website, CaseyMaloneShow.com, and get the recipe. Cheers.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
I'm Elizabeth Bernard. For more than 30 years, I've provided our Valley with sound legal advice. My associate Jennifer Rigetti and I will be your legal representatives if you're involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident. Don't try to handle it yourself. We'll navigate the red tape of dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the obstacles that you'll face. Remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases, and hiring a lawyer does not mean you have to go to court.
Call attorney Elizabeth Bernard, local legal experience for more than 30 years.
Locally owned, Hurricane Health and Wellness will help you weather the storm of your weight loss struggles. Safe and discreet, our experienced telemed team will prescribe the proper weight loss medication. Powerful weight loss solutions. Hurricane Health and Wellness.
For over 75 years, Kamara Jewelers has been the destination for quality jewelry. Our collection has a piece for everyone, in every occasion. Whether you're starting a new chapter, celebrating a milestone, or showing appreciation for the special people in your life, you can find a piece that reflects your love. At Kamara, we're about timelessness. Our jewelry isn't just for special occasions, it's for everyday moments that deserve a touch of elegance.
Get real, get Kamara.
Giving is living.
Don't miss the Casey Malone Show. Due to Big Ten football on NBC, watch the Casey Malone Show on Sundays at 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. on WBCB and anytime on CaseyMaloneShow.com. I return to primetime December 7th on WFMJ. You're not going to believe this, but we're busy getting ready for Thanksgiving. That's right, I'm here with Heather Medvick. She is the founder and director for the Boo Squad. And Rulli Brothers is really stepping up and helping you this year.
Yes, they are. We're so excited to partner with Rulli Brothers this year. They are working with us and collaborating with us to provide a good price to provide local families meals in the area for Thanksgiving. So if you shop at Rulli Brothers and you want to help adopt a family, it's only $62 to adopt a family. So that's a great price, especially with the cost of groceries rising this year, so we're very thankful.
And what started this whole thing? It's the Boo Squad, but you do way more.
So my mom was born in Europe, and she immigrated to America, and she was made fun of for her accent and the way she dressed, and she had it pretty rough. So one thing she always wanted to instill in us was being kind to others and including others. So when I had my daughters, I have two, when they were starting to get around the age of 5, I thought, you know, I want our kids to volunteer, but are they too young? Are they gonna understand it? I got a group of moms together at the Pullen Library. It was only like 5 of us at the time, and we came up with our first mission. And it was around Halloween time, and we filled little treat bags that had a ghost on them. and the word boo. And we filled it with candy treats and we dropped it off to surprise their friends and family. Just something nice to do.
Right.
But that's how we got our little mascot or our logo, the ghost, and that it's the Boo Squad, because that was our first mission.
Because I thought it was only like a Halloween thing or just Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But you are, we got some of the Boo Squad behind us.
Yes.
And, but you're active all year.
Yes, we're active all year. So we do various missions. We have volunteered at the rescue mission. We've served food at the community kitchen. We have made blankets for comfort kits for making kids count. We've adopted families through making kids count around the holidays. We've done caroling at local nursing homes. We've done sip and paints with seniors, but they're sipping juice pouches
Yeah, no,
or
they're
water.
not drinking the wine.
Yeah, we've purchased 2 vehicles for Go Baby Go, which is a program in which kids that maybe would normally walk with a walker or crutches, Go Baby Go, they modify these little tight cars that they can drive around, like little princess cars or fire trucks.
Not like a real car.
Not a real car.
I was going to
but
say, wow,
yeah.
you guys raised a lot of
No,
money.
that they could use those little cars to get around, and it's much cooler. It's all kinds of missions, you name
a
it.
lot of this requires donations. And other than a donation, what other arm do you use to raise money? Because it's all about money.
Absolutely. So we do missions that are free, and we also do missions that would require fundraising. So when I started this, I wanted the kids to be the voice. I wanted them to do the work. So they'll go and ask family members, local businesses, if they would like to sponsor our event. So the kids have been a big hit, and I think it's important because it teaches them public speaking. It teaches them about giving back to the community. This wouldn't be possible without the amazing sponsors that we have that support our missions, especially our Thanksgiving food drive. It's the biggest mission. We're hoping to hit 1,000 families this year since we started it. So
we're going to do some shopping. I've got Caroline here along with Carmela. And Carmela, how long have you been in the Boo Squad?
About 7 years.
7 years? So what is your favorite part of all the service activities that you do?
Watching people smile as we help them. That's my favorite probably. My favorite part is probably seeing how happy they are once we give them the food or help them out. Just their smiles, it makes your day.
And I think it's great that you guys are going into nursing homes. They really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Don't they, when you sing and visit and stuff?
Yeah, it's really fun going there. They'd start singing along or dancing to the songs we were singing.
And after Thanksgiving, what's your next big activity? What do we got?
The Christmas ham food drive.
Christmas hams, my gosh, you ever stop?
No.
This is Aubrey and Maria, and we are in the vegetable department. And I think a lot of people, going to need some vegetables for dinner. Which ones do you like?
I like green beans and carrots and
Oh, carrots. A lot of people don't like carrots. I love cooked carrots. How about you?
I like carrots and corn.
And corn. So what do you think? Let's grab some corn. And let's grab some carrots in there. And how long have you been with the Boo Squad?
Probably 7 years.
7 years?
Yeah.
I've got some lifers here. You gonna stay in it for a while?
Yes.
What attracted you to the Boo Squad?
Because we get to help people in need. And if I was in need, I would want someone to help me too.
That's right. Do unto others, right?
Yeah.
Social service is very important.
Yeah.
It takes a village.
Yeah, I like seeing people smile,
is.
the smiles on people's face.
Well, now I have got Abby and I have got Evelina with me, and it is time to get the vegetables. And come on, Abby, throw those potatoes in. That's probably my favorite vegetable. What do you think? For Thanksgiving, which do you like the best?
I don't know. I like potatoes.
Mashed?
Mashed potatoes, yeah.
Of course. How about you?
I like mashed potatoes.
I just love them with lots of gravy and butter. What about Christmas? What do we got planned for the Boo Squad?
We
put ham and we like sell ham to people like that need it.
Oh, so you donate hams?
Yes.
Do you guys eat ham at Christmas?
No.
Well, you are this year.
Yeah.
You're going to have some ham. If there is a family in need, how could they get on your radar?
So they can always contact us through our Facebook page, Boo Squad. But we work with local school districts. I work with the guidance counselors and principals, and I ask them, you know, I have 20 meals for your school district.
Right.
Can you get a list of 20 families that would want a meal for Thanksgiving? And then what we do is they contact the families, and we have a food drive. So it's like literally like a drive-through, and the kids load up the food and put it in their the backs of their cars for Thanksgiving.
And
we
it's
do
got all the fixings,
all
turkey,
the fixings,
you know,
yeah,
everything, soup to nuts.
Yes, it's exciting to see everything come together that day. The kids are always amazed by how much food, how many turkeys. As young as they are, you know, when there's a couple families that may come through and they're crying because they're so thankful and they can't believe that a little kid is serving them or doing something so nice for them. It touches the family's hearts, and the kids, they'll, you know, at first when they were younger, they would say, why are they crying? You know, when we try to explain to them that you're providing them something much more than a meal. You're helping someone that may be experiencing a tough time, and it makes them feel so good. So they get so excited to see those reactions.
Right. And they don't realize how lucky they are.
Absolutely,
you know?
yes.
And now they experience it firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
And if, you know, a mom or a dad they can just go to the Facebook page.
Yes.
And if they want to get their child involved.
Absolutely, yes.
What is the age range?
We'll take any age range. We've had, yes, yeah. We've had honestly as young as 3, and we've had, you know, I mean, it's geared for kids, but the parents help, the grandparents help. We try to make it family inclusive, but it's anywhere between the ages of 3 and 14.
The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.